Hello, my name is Marie and this is my December wrap-up. December was actually a pretty good reading month for me, considering I hadn't read much for the entire year. Up until this point, I kind of came home, and I've been home for the past 2 weeks now. I kind of just went book crazy and I read all the things, which is actually quite nice. So the first book I read is The Christmas Oris by Tom Fletcher. This is definitely more of a kid's book, but it is really good. It follows the story of this boy here, William, and he wants a dinosaur for Christmas, but he doesn't think he's gonna get one, and hilariousness ensues. It's actually a really good story. It was just a thing to get me in the Christmas spirit. I read it really quickly because, like I said, it was a kid's book. I liked how the author sort of speaks to you. It's very much a story that is being told, opposed to from the point of view of a person within the story, which I quite liked. There's also lots of illustrations, like this one of Santa Claus, and there's lots of like little bits of enlarged text, and it's just a very fun read. Definitely the thing to get me in the Christmas spirit. Next, keeping within the same family, I have something from Tom Fletcher's little sister, Carrie Hope Fletcher. This book is called All I Know Now, and I've been reading this on and off for the past 2 years. Me and my friend bought it a very long time ago together when it first came out. We were big fans of Carrie's on YouTube, and we just thought we'd pick the book up and read it. I did quite enjoy it, but it's very obvious that it's for a younger audience. If I read this at 16, 17, I'm sure it would have been really lovely and like really useful. I still quite enjoyed it, and it was very relatable, just relatable for a younger audience. I like how it was laid out though, because it was laid out like sections of a play, and anyone who knows Carrie, she is an actress and is on, I was gonna say Broadway, and has been in West End shows and stuff, so it makes sense. But it's really cool. I like it. It's like Act 1, Act 2, interval, and I really like the little illustrations that went along with it too. Next, going from something that's for a younger demographic, however something that's for quite an older demographic, and it's Old Age and How to Survive It by Edward Enfield. This was quite an amusing little book with some nice illustrations and stuff, but like I said, it's for a little bit of an older audience. I thought it would be a fun read, and it was, but I think I could have got more out of it if I read it at maybe 50 or so. I might just give it to my parents, see if they want to read it. But overall it was a fun little read. Next I have How to Be a Bad Christian But a Better Human Being by Dave Tomlinson. I really enjoyed this book. It was a bit heavy because obviously it's about religion and beliefs and stuff, but it's also light-hearted and fun, and it's written by a priest who seems very much a modern priest. I don't know how to describe it, but it was really good, and if anyone is questioning their faith or anything, I suggest you pick it up, or even if you're not, you're just curious about any type of religion or wanting to be a better human being. It's quite funny, it's really cute. This book is very topical and very current. It has lots of pop cultural references in it, and some cool quotes from cool people like Desmond Tutu. And my favourite quote from Harry Potter: "It is our choices, Harry, that show us what we truly are, far more than our abilities." I always loved that quote, and yes, it's a good little book. Next I have a load of kids books. It is the Shakespeare Stories by Andrew Matthews and Tony Ross, and there is a lot of stories in here. There is Twelfth Night, Henry V, Julius Caesar, Richard III, Romeo and Juliet, The Taming of the Shrew, The Tempest, Hamlet, As You Like It, Antony and Cleopatra, King Lear, Othello, Macbeth, The Merchant of Venice, A Midsummer's Night Dream, Much Ado About Nothing. I picked these up because I quite like Shakespeare. I like Romeo and Juliet. I hated The Tempest when I had to read it, but I liked Romeo and Juliet. And I wanted to read more of Shakespeare, but I had no clue where to start. And I'm more of a story person than like an in-depth literature review person. So I was like, well, the best way to find out the stories but not have to read the whole book, I thought, was to read the kids' versions of the books. If I liked the stories, I would pick up the actual originals written by Shakespeare himself. The ones I've chosen to hopefully get soon and read are The Twelfth Night, Hamlet, As You Like It, and Midsummer's Night Dream. There are a few more that I quite like the story of, but those are the 4 that I really want to get and read soon. I also want to get Romeo and Juliet and read that again, because like I said, I did really enjoy that when I read it for school. Next in my wrap up I have Looking for Alaska by John Green. I was very sceptical of reading this book. I have read 2 John Green books, one I really liked, one was just meh, in my opinion. I really liked The Fault in Our Stars. It was beautiful and sad, but hopeful. It was great. And then I read Paper Towns, which I didn't dislike. I was just sort of indifferent about it. In my opinion, the story was just okay. However, Looking for Alaska I really enjoyed. It was written in such an insightful and smart way, and was equal parts funny and sad. It reminded me why I loved John Green's writing to begin with, and it had me captured from the first page to the last page. Next I have a graphic novel. It is Lumberjanes, Volume 3, A Terrible Plan, by Stevenson, Waters, Nowak and Leo. I really like the Lumberjanes series. It might just be because I did girl guiding my whole life and I wish our camps were quite this cool. This series has great artwork and I just really like hearing about their adventures. Next I have a kids book that my mum got me for Christmas. Waiting for Santa by Steve Metzer and Alison Edgerson. It's a cute little story. Apparently my mum thinks I'm 4, not 24, but I did really enjoy it and the artwork is kind of cool. Lastly, a book that I stayed up until 2 AM this morning reading is Undercover Princess by Connie Glynn. I actually really quite enjoyed this book. I saw some reviews that said it was good, I saw some that said it was bad, but I did really enjoy it. It's about 2 girls who go to a boarding school in England. One is a princess and one is obsessed with princesses. And as you can imagine, stuff happens. It's a nice, fluffy, cheesy, occasionally somewhat predictable read, but it was actually pretty good. And that is all for my December wrap it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you read in December in the comments below. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and I will see you next time. Bye!